Welcome to Peace TV. Yesterday, the private military company Wagner was blamed for the beheading of Ukrainian soldiers. After videos appeared on social networking sites of Ukrainian soldiers being beheaded and dismembered, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky on Wednesday denounced those who allegedly beheaded Ukrainian soldiers in two videos that appeared on social media over the past week as beasts. The videos appear to be about separate events. One of them may have been filmed very recently, while the other, from the amount of foliage seen on the ground, appears to have been filmed in the summer. The video, first posted to a pro-Russian social media channel on April 8th, is said to have been intentionally shot by Russian mercenaries from the Wagner Group and shows the decapitated corpses of two Ukrainian soldiers lying on the ground next to a destroyed military vehicle. In the video, a voice can be heard behind the camera. The sound appears to be distorted to prevent speaker recognition. "Armored vehicle was hit by a mine," said the Russian voice, seemingly alluding to the bodies on the ground. The voice laughed as he continued, "They killed them. Someone came to them. They came to them and cut off their heads." The dead soldiers also appeared to have their hands cut off. Russian social media accounts say the video was filmed near Bakhmut in eastern Ukraine, where the fiercest fighting in months has been fought, with the participation of large numbers of Wagner fighters. The second video, posted on Twitter and heavily blurred, appears to have been shot in the summer due to the abundance of vegetation on the ground. It was intended to show a Russian fighter using a knife to behead a Ukrainian soldier. A voiceover at the beginning of the video suggests the victim may have been alive when the attack began. Zelensky swore that those behind the intentional atrocities would be held accountable. "There is one thing that no one in the world can ignore: how easily these beasts kill people," he said in a video message. "We will not forget anything, nor will we condone murderers. There will be liability for everything. Defeating terrorism is essential," he said. Daria Zarivna, an advisor to the chief of staff to the president of Ukraine on Wednesday, said the videos were part of a psychological campaign aimed at intimidation. She said of the videos, "It completely dehumanizes and shows the essence of a terrorist nation. But it is important to understand the purpose. This is a PSYOP psychological operation intended to intimidate. The target audience is not only Ukraine, but also Western societies," she reasoned. "But it doesn't work for us. The Russians fear this, but not us," she added. On the Russian side, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov on Wednesday said the video was terrible, but first of all, "We need to verify the authenticity of the footage." In a regular call with the journalist, Peskov said, "Of course, these are terrible scenes. Then that could be a reason to check if this is true. If this is happening, and if so, where and from which side." On Monday, the Institute for the Study of War ISWAL said Wagner is believed to continue to commit war crimes by beheading Ukrainian servicemen in Bakhmut, referencing a photo shared on social media sites. Pro-Russian society shows the object appearing to be severed. The head, which they claimed was that of a Ukrainian soldier, was mounted on a spike. ISWAL reported similar incidents in Popasna, in the Luhansk region, where Wagner's troops were also active earlier in the war. Some pro-Russian social media accounts claim that Ukrainian forces are responsible for the beheading in order to conceal their identities. This echoes similar claims made by Wagner boss Yevgeny Prigozhin in January after his fighters apparently found dismembered bodies near Bakhmut. Leader Wagner denied his group was behind the purported video showing the beheading of Ukrainian soldiers. The head of Wagner's private military company, Yevgeny Prigozhin, has denied that his fighters were involved in a macabre video showing Ukrainian soldiers being beheaded. "I watched this video. It sucks that people's heads are cut off. But I haven't found anything that proves this is happening near Bakhmut and that Wagner warriors are taking part in the execution," he said in a statement. His company announced Wednesday. Prigozhin is answering a question about a video posted to a pro-Russian social media channel on April 8th, showing the decapitated corpses of two Ukrainian soldiers lying on the ground next to a military vehicle destroyed. Russian social media accounts say the video was filmed near Bakhmut in eastern Ukraine, where the heaviest fighting in months has taken place, with the participation of large numbers of Wagner fighters. The second video, posted on Twitter and heavily blurred, appears to have been shot in the summer due to the abundance of vegetation on the ground. It was intended to show a Russian fighter using a knife to behead a Ukrainian soldier. A voiceover at the beginning of the video suggests the victim may have been alive when the attack began. Also yesterday, the founder of the private military company Wagner and financier Yevgeny Prigozhin have called for the whole of Russian society to be mobilized, saying that everyone is ready to contribute to Moscow's war effort in Ukraine. Not only those who are mobilized should be mobilized, those who go to the front, but all of society should be mobilized, Prigozhin said in an audio recording posted on his Telegram channel. In response to the project, Russia's new electronic mandatory law start from simple workers who are really ready for the process. As we go to the regions, our recruiters see that people are ready to be mobilized and understand that there is a war going on for Russia's existence, he added. Unlike Prigozhin, the Russian government continues to deny that it is waging a war in Ukraine, referring to the conflict as a special military operation. The new bill introduced by the Kremlin, expected to be signed into law by President Vladimir Putin, would tighten rules for Russians brought into the conflict to prevent them from leaving the country, as many have said did during the partial protest last year. Mobilize. Leader Wagner criticized Russian officials for leaving the country with their wealth and said the entire system needed to be shaken. Why don't we want to clean up this anthill that has been built up over the years and has turned over the years from a community of people who are willing to develop something in this country into a community of people who just care about their own happiness? He asked the question. The system requires global sanitation and reduces the number of people involved in this bureaucratic community.